We're going to continue our practice with percents, and this particular problem just has finding a percent of a whole number without a calculator. They're considering it advanced because it's not 5% or 10%, now it's 55%. So same thing holds true, 55%, we would rewrite it as a decimal, 0.55, and of means multiply in math, so you would be multiplying 0.55 by 6.3. Here's an example how you would do your multiplication in case you forgot. You would stack your factors like you normally would and ignoring the decimal sign, multiply it, and then at the end you have to see how many decimal places you have in each factor, and that is how you would know that you would be moving it over 2, 4, 6 places. Here it's 2, so it'd be 34.65. Next, we're going to look, they considered again a real world situation just because they're putting it in a business world. They're saying a file that is 229 megabytes is being downloaded. If the download is 12.6% complete, how many megabytes have been downloaded? They want you to round your answer to the nearest tenth. Tenth means one place value to the right of the decimal. So 229 megabytes, and they want to know what 12.6% of the 229 is. Of means multiply in math. So again, you've got your 12.6%. You convert it to a decimal by moving the decimal 2 places to the left. We know this because percent means per or divided by 100. 100 is 10 to the second power. If we are dividing this number, 12.6, by 100 or 10 to the second power, it's getting smaller and its 2 place value smaller. Then you can multiply and you're ending up with a product of 28.854. Rounding it to the nearest tenth, we take a look. Here's your tenths place. You always draw a line, look at the guy next door. If it's 5 or more, you round up. And in this case, it's a 5, so you will round up to 28.9, and that would be your answer. The next one, finding a percent of a total without a calculator, sales, tax, commission, discount. They're saying an item is regularly priced at $70. It is on sale for 60% off the regular price. How much in dollars is discounted from the regular price? Well, something that you need to start paying attention to, and we've talked about this a lot, is does your answer make sense? They're saying it's on sale for 60% off. Well, 50% off would be what? 50% off half of 70, 35. So it's going to be more than $35 off. So let's take a look. And again, we're going to look at where we say 60% of 70. Of means multiply. You will convert your 60%. You divide it by 10 to the second power. So your decimal is going 2 to the left, which gets you 0.6. Then you multiply. So 60% of 70 would be 0.6 times 70, which would be 42. So the discounted amount is $42. Next problem. Without a calculator, estimating a 15% tip on a dinner bill of $89.15 by first rounding the bill, the amount you're paying, to the nearest $10. So if it's $89.15, rounding it to the nearest $10 is going to either be $80 or $90. And you should know that it would be $90. Now you need to find 15% of $90. Again, 15% of 90, we would have 0.5, and you can multiply it by 90, and you would get your answer. Next problem. This looks like it's going to be hard, but it really isn't. They're showing you a circle graph, and it shows how the annual budget for a company is divided by department. They're saying if the total amount budgeted is $10 million, what amount is budgeted for sales? Well, that means that this whole circle graph represents the whole budget, which would be the $10,000. Now, if you're looking at the amount budgeted for sales, you can see sales is 45% of the total. So let's see how we do this. So 45% goes to sales. That means you're going to multiply 45% by $10 million. Again, converting your percent to a decimal, 0.45 times 10 million, you're going to get 4,500,000. That's a big number, but it's easy enough for you to do. Now, here's just a little reminder. If you have your 45%, and we've done this a lot, that means 45 per 100 or divided by 10 to the second power. The 45, the decimal would be after the 5. If you're getting smaller by 2 place values, 1 and 2, and there you go, your 0.45. And then the last problem. They're saying this circle graph shows how a family budgets the $14,000 that is left over after paying bills. So this whole thing is what is left over after paying the bills. First, decide whether the family budgets more for education, more for food, or the same amount for each. Then fill in the blank with a whole number. So again, they want a whole number. Education, you can see, is 12%. Food is 36%. Well, it's pretty obvious that they're spending more for food than education. So you would fill in the blank, more for education, and then you would fill in your number here. And let's take a look at how you'd get your work. So if the family budgets 12% of their leftover money for education and 36% for food, you could look and say 36% minus the 12% is 24%. That's the difference between the percent for food and the percent for education. So they're spending 24% more on food. You could take your 24% and find out what is 24% of 14,000. 0.24 times 14,000, and you would get your 3,360. Now, you can do it another way if you wanted to. You could simply try to find out what 12% of the 14,000 is by multiplying again, and then you would look and see how much it would be for the food. Then you would find out the difference by subtracting, and that would be your answer. And that is it.